changing out an oil pan from the Audi, the A3. Damn, where did I leave it at? Anyways, it's leaking. It's only leaking because the little sensor, the oil sensor that goes in there, has a bad gasket. And here's the oil pan. The reason why we're changing out the oil pan and not just the gasket is because the oil pan on these cars are unfortunately plastic. Why? I don't know. But we're gonna take care of that with this steel. I should put it somewhere. Put it on top of the Mercedes. With the steel part. I'll show you right now. Alright, so this is what we're working with. This is the steel pan right here. This is where the sensor goes on the outside, going through. It came with the, I don't know what this is, but it came with all these little bolts and some German gasket maker. I say German only because the primary language on it is German. And it has the option for English. Got this from Euro Parts. It's really cheap. It's like 40 bucks, I want to say. And then the original one's like 300 or some crazy stuff like that. And I'll show you the original one when we get it off. But first, you gotta get my car out. And look at that. That's all from the car, from the A3. Then I gotta get the A3 put in right here. Only because somebody's coming to take all this stuff, all this table, and selling it. They should be here any minute. Right, so we got the car up. If you don't have any of these, you should go get some. It makes it way easier to get the car up instead of sitting there jacking up each side. And then the lip was about to hit, so I put like some wood down where the entrance is. I don't know if you can see it from here. Let me see. Yep, just like that. And it allows you to get up, even though this car is lower than those things are supposed to accept, but still got it up. I don't know if you just saw, but that's all moist and it just freaking dripped right there. So we got to get this plate off and drain all the oil. Okay, so I got the oil pan underneath here. I went ahead and drained it. These cars for some reason need this little plastic key, which you can't really see right now, but it plugs in and then you twist it. Because this is all plastic and the drain plug is plastic as well. It's right here. It's still in because I just put it back in. But now we got a new problem. We got all this substance right here, which I think is coolant, which would make sense because we have been experiencing a low coolant situation that happens every once like a month. And so it's like not super low on coolant, but it has a slow drip to it. So I have to see where this is coming from. I looked up top, looks like it's coming from one of the hoses. So hopefully that's just it. Alright, so this is what we got so far. So I used some of this. This is gasket maker, like I said before. Put it around, I already put it in by the way. I put it around the top right here between the two mating surfaces. But I did this when this pan was down here because you have to work kind of quick. I didn't have time to record it. But this stuff solidifies in, well, like 15-20 minutes to where you can't mold it anymore. But I didn't want to waste any time. So I went ahead and put like a thin layer, like about that much. Rubbed it out with my finger because the opening of this is way too wide to put a thin bead. It would have been a thick bead. It probably would have ended up like this, caked up on there. But anyways, spread it around with my fingers all the way around. And then I lined the holes up, stuck it up here. I have a wrist thingy that holds around my wrist. This thing right here. Just took it off right now. But this holds all the bolts so that they're right there on my wrist so that I could put them on my little bit that I took off. And just drill them in good enough so that it's in but not tight. Then I go back around with the wrench and tighten them up. It's supposed to be to a certain spec, but I'm pretty confident that I've done this a couple times, that it's going to be just enough so that I'm not stripping it, that I'm not warping it, but yet tight enough to keep all the moisture in, or all the oil in. So next is to put the sensor, and then I'll go ahead and cake this up too with some RTV or gasket maker, whatever you want to call it, and then I'll show you when I'm done. Alright, it's been like 0.000 seconds for you, but for me it's been about 10, because it took me 10 minutes to take off a couple of things right here. Basically, this is the sensor. There's a gasket on it. Gasket was squished down, so I added some RTV to it. You can call me an RTV warrior, because that's exactly what we did here. Instead of doing the right thing, which is going to pick up another sensor gasket or just picking up another sensor, but we don't got money like that, so went ahead and put the connector back on after cleaning it out free of oil. I used some alcohol based spray to basically clean the connections. Connector cleaner is the best thing for that, so do that. Then I put it back on. I need to allow all this assembly to dry a little bit before pouring the oil back in at the top. Yes, I am going to reuse the same oil since we just did an oil change not too long ago. I got some extra just in case, so yeah. And that's it. If you got any questions, please ask me in the comments below. I'll always reply. It might take a couple minutes, a couple seconds, but I got you, all right? And I'll see you next time.